Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ifeoluwa Oni, aka the YouTuber, and with me today I have
Samuel David,
aka not the YouTuber.
I don't get you. Just continue.
Alright, so you guys, as you all know, we're in the month of love, the famous month of love. And today we're going to continue our series, Single and Pressured, and we're going to be talking about drum roll, heartbreak. Woo! As I said it,
I get chills. I mean,
so have you ever been heartbroken before? Have you ever been served breakfast? Anyway, I've been served breakfast before, and I spoke about it in my last video. You can check it out. But today, I'm not going to be the one talking. Samuel David is going to be doing the talking. I'm going to be asking the questions. So he's going to be sharing his heartbreak experiences, just in case it is more than one.
I mean,
and he, whether he has survived it or not, I don't know. Well, when we're sitting here, it means he survived the heartbreak, but just how he has, gone through the process, basically, just in case there's anybody watching out there who is suffering from heartbreak and needs someone that they can relate with, basically. So please, if you are here to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section. And without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's jump right in. Can you just introduce yourself? Just tell us about yourself.
So I'm Samuel David. I'm a prolific writer. Even though I've not been writing for months, God, I really should start writing. I'm into freelancing. I'm also a physiotherapist. Yeah, that's just about it for me for now. Let's skip to that.
So many.
I mean, it's plenty, the diversity.
All right. So, well, for you to be sitting here talking about heartbreak, it means you've been in a relationship before, right? But is it okay if I ask you how many relationships you've been in, or when your last relationship was?
Okay. I think I'll stick with the how many relationships have I been in? I've been with just two people. Just two people.
Just two. That's I get more experience. So I think I just shut up. If you don't hear that, don't worry. Alright, so have you ever been heartbroken before?
Sadly so.
The two people or just one person?
Just one person.
So you broke one person's heart and then another person broke your heart.
I'm not. I don't do such. I don't do such. So the first person, it was something mutual. Like we just agreed that okay, it has gotten to the point where our values do not, connive. We are not really in sync.
I've just been heartbroken once.
Yes, I've just been heartbroken once.
And how was it? How did it feel?
Oh, wow. So it's devastating, and I mean that has to sink in. So it was very devastating. I would say that I made a lot of mistakes during that period, a lot of mistakes, and of course we'll be talking about many of them. But just in summary, it was devastating from the very, very beginning. Judging from the last few weeks or the last few days of the relationship into the next couple of months / year of post relationship. I mean, so it's really, really bad. That was exactly how I felt. Very bad.
The way it doesn't post 1 year, it means there's so much to talk about. You are in for it. Just sit down, get your popcorn and your drinks.
I'm telling you, you will need it. You will need it, and maybe some pain relievers too, because my pain will soon become my pain will not become. Oh, let me not pray bad prayer for you. But seriously, I do not want anybody to ever have to experience what I experienced, and I'm not capping. Nobody. But you may still experience this travel. We'll be praying for you.
Jesus name, you experience it. As long as you go with the spirit. Were you expecting it? Did you see it coming?
Yes, I saw it coming. I did, but not just at the time it came.
So
I saw it coming weeks before. I saw it coming perhaps weeks after, but not just at that time that it came. Now, I'm the kind of person that I do my very best to consider others in the decisions I make. I do my best, though I don't always do it. Like it's not we are in this world together now, but I do my best. So things like when somebody is starting an examination, or say you have a big day ahead of you, you're preparing for an interview, that's not the time you serve somebody breakfast. I don't know. It's not done. It's not. Are you people human at all? I mean, because no matter how strong this person is, or no matter how strong they try to compose themselves to be, see, it's still going to eat them somewhere that they would not like it. and it destabilizes them for a period of time. You see, during the examination period, the person might just try to like compose himself. You would have heard this thing where, say, a person's father dies, and the family does not want to tell the person because the person has exams.
Yeah.
Maybe their final exams or something of the sort. So after the exams, they'll call him home and they'll break the news. That is human. That's very human. But you see, telling the person right away as the gist they ought, despite the fact that the person has exams, you can kill a person. You can kill a person. I'm serious.
Okay, so with what you said right now, it came during exams.
Yes, it came right before my MB. Like, I'm a medical. Oh, yeah, I said I was a physiotherapist. Yeah, stick that one. So, right before my MB, my Part 3 MB exams, yeah, that was when it came. That was when it came.
And how? Have you seen your results?
Yeah, I passed now.
You passed. That means you know too. You just down now.
Say that you know too. Oh wow, you really have no idea. It came, it struck, but I think I had to do a couple of things to put myself together, to like just maintain sanity for the period of the exam. And another thing that benefited me was that they postponed some examinations, so it gave me ample time to prepare, to re-prepare, to, you know, just pull myself together and do this stuff. And my friends too, my support system, they tried for me. They did a lot for me. Yeah.
Lesson 1, have friends. People that can hold you together.
Yes, so have friends. Have friends.
Alright, so there's this question I want to ask. You know, it's one thing when, oh, okay, you're in a relationship but you don't really see it going anywhere, and then if you guys break up, it's not going to be as painful as someone you've planned your future to get out. You already know how many children you're going to give birth to, you know when you will get married, you know all of those things, and then the person serves you breakfast. So what kind of relationship was it? Was it a serious one where you already knew that, okay, this is the person I want to settle with?
Okay. From my childhood, ever since I got to understand what relationship meant, ever since as far back as say my 10s, one of the things that has always been in my mind was I never want to have an ex. Like I never wanted to have an ex.
You want to marry the first person we date.
Like, we go into a relationship. We go into a relationship with the mindset that okay, we just want to like solidify structures, get to know each other, and then we are proceeding to the next step. So I tell myself, number one, if I am not mature enough to, you know, like if I'm not seeing marriage in the nearest future, we cannot start dating. Because I'm not the kind of person that I would want to date you for 6 years, 7 years, kill and shit. I mean, I know people that have dated for 9 years. Yeah, my friend dated for 9 years and they got married. That's beautiful, but that's your thing. It's not my thing. It's not me. So if I have not gotten very close to the period that I know I am going to be ready to get married, why are we dating? What are we doing? Let's just be friends. We can do everything we want to do in a relationship and friendship. Yes. We can do everything we ought to do in a relationship in friendship.
Changed.
Yes, everything we ought to do, because if people were, we'll be praying for you, Sha. Anyways, so that's always been the kind of person that I have been. And so when that relationship came, I'll be very frank with you. At first, it wasn't a relationship that I knew was going to edge somewhere at first, right? And that's where I think we don't always do the things we have in mind, we intend to do, the old Romans 7 vibe. That's about that. But nonetheless, eventually I pulled myself together and I said, you are in this, might as well just stick to your integrity, stick to your principles and get this going. So I like reordered my mind, I put everything back in place, and we were heading for
marriage. And then it happened.
And then it happened.
Whew.
Wow.
Okay. Would you say, you know, there are times when I think Pastor Laju was talking, I saw a quote from Sunday service. Sorry, Pastor Laju is our pastor in Celebration Church, Pastor Aaron's wife. So, and she said many times we look at the red flags in people, but we don't necessarily look at ourselves and see the red flags that we have. So would you say you had a fault in the breakup that happened? Would you say you caused it, or you had no fault? It was totally the other party?
Ultimately, I don't think there is any breakup at all where any of the 7 parties does not contribute one way or the other. Now, your own part to play might have been very subservient, very trivial, very, infinitesimal, but it was there. It was there. So it's not going to be a question of whether I did something or I did not do something. It's going to be a question of, do I actually realize what I did? Like, do I admit to that fact that I did this and it went out to this? Because at the end of the day, every consequence can be traced back to an action. So whether you know it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, you did something. You both did something. Yeah, so I did something. We did something.
But with what you think, what you did, and maybe what she did as well, do you think if you guys had come together, the relationship could still have worked?
It couldn't have worked. And I'll be very honest with myself, it couldn't have worked. Now, it couldn't have worked because the foundation of the relationship from the very scratch was faulty. There were a number of things that we ought to have put in place, we ought to have settled on, that we didn't. And I'm going to say this for free, she may eventually get to watch this video, I don't know. But the truth is, we expended most days of most months of our relationship quarreling. And you find out that when the quarrel is more than the happy days in the relationship, check it again, please. Check it again. That's a torturous relationship. A torturous road is headed for the pit.
You don't want to endure your relationship.
No, you don't want to endure. Exactly. Coach mama.
Hey!
Coach mama. Oh. So that was what it was. That was what it was. Yeah. So it couldn't have. The deal is we could have come back together, say for the next couple of weeks, months. The patterns will continue to react because I had habits of my own she couldn't live with. She had habits of her own I couldn't live with. And nobody was willing to compromise. So whether we liked it or not, it was headed for the pit. So it just came at the wrong time, that's it. At the wrong time.
But would you say that was you said the relationship had a faulty foundation. What would you say was the fault? What would you say made the foundation faulty?
Okay, we had intricacies. This is the part. This is the part I don't want to spill. I mean, many people have asked me, what really caused your breakup? I've never said it. I mean, it was from the outside, it was a very beautiful relationship. People were really like, come on, couple goals. But inside,
you knew what was going on.
We knew what was going on. So that's the one thing I don't think I have ever told anybody. Let me still keep it for now. The exact thing, I mean, I'll still keep it for now.
I'll keep it for now. So what were the things you learned during the period of the breakup that you would like to share for other people to at least learn from as well?
Wow. Okay. Guys, this is the part where I want to like draft out like an entire book. You get like 80 leaves. 80 leaves is so small, eh? Maybe 200 leaves, those thick hardcovers, because you will need this for your generations. I'm kidding. Actually, I'm kidding. Now, the very first thing that the very first thing that I learned right after the breakup is that you just get suddenly wise. Yes, you get suddenly wise in your own eyes, right? You feel that every idea coming to your head is so perfect, so logical. I mean, your heart is shattered, but you wouldn't want to accept that fact. So your brain is like, I'm the one in control, I'm the one in charge. So come on, you start dishing out ideas. And many of these ideas are going to be towards you acting. Pick up your phone, call her, text her. I want to hear from her. How is she doing? This is what is going. I mean, you just want to the whole attachment, detachment thing. That's the first thing that hits you, right? And you feel so wise. People are going to come to you with advice. They're going to come to you telling you things to do. You will not really listen. You will think you're listening, but you won't listen. And then you just go ahead acting all by yourself. So that's like the first thing. You need to actually sit down and think. And this sitting down to think is sitting down to think on your own. That space is necessary. I used to similarize heartbreaks to a broken bone. Say the moment you break your bone, now the very first thing you want to do is to align that bone and keep it in a place to start healing. The deal is, if you keep poking at it, if you keep touching it, the bone may eventually heal, but not in the right alignment. And I can tell you this for free. It will take a longer time to heal, if at all it would. So that's something quite similar. So you don't want to keep poking at it. Just let it rest. Let it lie. By my own statistical research, I'm not giving you my sources, but you can actually go online, search out these things, the proven statistics anyways. You'll find out that relationships where which the boyfriend, the girlfriend, like just give themselves space to think, to calm down, to settle. Many of those relationships end up, coming back together. Yeah, because you need that time. You need it. That's the first thing. Wow. That's the first thing. The second thing I learned was that you really do not want to go about sharing all your information to everybody that comes around to ask. And that is why I found out that while in a relationship, it is very important to have structures around your relationships. You have to have people you are accountable to, elders, perhaps your parents. Talk to your parents about it. Talk to your pastor or your religious leader about it. Do you understand? Be accountable to them. Now, one thing you would not know is that these people have some level of wisdom that is ascribed to the position they hold over you, right? The pastor, whether you want to believe it or not, the pastor has wisdom, supernatural wisdom to guide you in many natural affairs. And if you just ostracize yourself, I'm telling you, it may crash because of that. It may crash because of that. So have these structures. Now, there's this very particular friend of mine. I used to say it. I told her to her face then that if you were around, things would not have gone as horrible as they went. She went on IT and we were not so much in contact. No, this friend knows how to speak to me. The friend knows how to just put things in place. How about we go this way, go this way. She would not make you feel as though your ideas are not. Respect your opinions, respect your ideas, then give you superior facts to let you know that what you are doing or what you're about to do does not make sense. And this is the right way to go. So I tell her, if she was around, things would not have gone that bad. Now, that is just one person. Imagine what a better suited structure would have done for you. And I didn't have that. I didn't have that. Then thirdly, one of the things that came to my realization was the fact that you don't need to, you shouldn't be the yes man in your relationship just to keep things going. Just to please your partner. Communication is a very big deal for me. If you cannot communicate, then sorry. Communication is a very, very big deal. I want to know what's going on in your life, what's going on in your mind. You don't need to come and start. I'm not your accountability partner. But we are in a relationship. As much as possible, let me know what is going on in our own relationship. You get? Okay. I don't want you to go to talk to your friend about what's going on in our relationship without my knowledge. Without my knowledge. Some of the problems we had in the relationships were things that needed easy fix. Just easy fix. Do you understand? Something that's top bond, just apply top bond, stick it together, the thing is fixed. It's as easy as that. But then this thing creates a fracture that the continuous compounding, continuous expanding, continuous stretching, and then you now have an entirely broken system that does not work just because we were not communicating. And it was bearing on me, but I kept up with it as far anything to make it work. Don't do that though. Olewu. Olewu. Okay, you're real.
Okay. I hope you have learned. Me, Seb, I've learned from that. All that he said, I've learned from all that he said. Of course.
All right. Another thing that I learned during the period of the heartbreak was how that, I think I learned this one after the thing I started settling down, was how that during that period you're very vulnerable. So a lot of people are going to come into your life, maybe new people you're just meeting or friends that have been there before. Now, because of how vulnerable you are, people can sense vulnerability. That's a thing you should just take away. People can sense vulnerability, so you always have to hold yourself in place. Now, no matter how vulnerable you are, these people are going because of how vulnerable you are, rather, these people are going to come in and try to help you out. Now, similar to the old doctor-patient attachment where the patient starts falling in love with his doctor. Now, that's something similar to what's going to happen. And you won't, because of how broken the person is, it needs an easy fix. It needs a painkiller, a pain reliever. It needs anything that will just take this pain away. And at that point, you find out that these people that come into your life, they act as a shocker. You get to just cover up the pain, to soothe the pain. You get they act like your analgesics to soothe the pain. So we get attached, and we want to be with them. We start feeling like we love them so much. We start feeling because they're going to be always there. you're going to constantly call them. Things are going to like get way in over your head, and you will want to talk to them. And when you start talking to them, you get strongly attached to them. Now, the problem with that is you have not fixed the habits that brought about your previous breakup. As a matter of fact, you have not healed. You are going to think as though, oh, I'm all fine, I'm all okay. No, you're not all fine. You're not all okay. Somebody is holding you up together. That's why you feel fine. Actually, you're not all fine. That is not the time to start getting into another relationship with a new person. Oh God. That's like a rebound, and rebounds are nasty. It's not fair on you, it's not fair on the person, especially the person, because you're going to bring all that toxicity and you're going to pour it on that person, which is another lesson I learned during the whole breakup period. And that is how that we learn from the character of the person we are with. Its influence is always there. So you now tell yourself that's why I always smile at people that say, my ex was toxic. Your ex was toxic automatically means you've already earned some toxicity for yourself. I'm serious. That's how it is. You find out that we map out their character, we emulate them, especially if they were people we really loved and we looked up to. You would have emulated a lot of things. You would have emulated how to respond to the treatment he has been giving you. You would have emulated how to like protect yourself, and many of those things are toxic. So not doing away with these things, doing away with it is actually the real healing. I'm serious. Doing away with them is the real healing, and it takes years, perhaps months, if you have a good trainer or if you have something like this. So basically that.
So you're saying something and just reminded me again. I'm going to quote somebody else. I'm going to quote Pastor Tolulokpe Oludapo, and he said, with relationship, you don't gain experience, you gain baggages. As you're coming out of one relationship, you're carrying baggage. Yeah, it's not experience, it's baggage, so be careful. I just needed to put that out there. Question. Would you say you have healed from the breakup?
I would say I have healed from the breakup, yeah. And up until recently, I thought I had healed, but I figured out that true healing was being able to realize the person you were before the whole relationship experience happened. Now, I'm not saying you should not learn from your relationships, but I'm saying you should not discard your own identity, who you truly are, for the experiences you gathered from the relationship. Those experiences they're meant to be weighed by the truth of your identity. They're not just meant to be added upon you. No. So up until I felt at ease with myself to let go of many of those defenses, those things that I have constructed, those walls that I have constructed around myself, I truly had not healed. So now anybody that was going to be coming in afresh, that person must not take an inch of the pain that I was bringing from my last relationship. Not an inch of it. I must give that person my whole heart in its sincerity as it was before. And the deal is you're going to be hearing something entirely different from people outside. Why? Because many of the people outside truly have not healed. So they're going to tell you, protect yourself, guard your heart, do this one, do that one. And I'm going to tell you something different. I'm going to tell you to realign yourself with the truth of your identity. Go back to God's word. Study about yourself. Be self-aware. Get back your own happiness. Get back your own freedom. You get back your own joy. What makes you happy? The things you do that are just natural to you. That freedom. I will love you and I will love you completely. Yes, that is who I am. I'm not going to prepare for you to cheat on me. No. I'm going to give you my trust in its entirety.
Yes.
Right? I'm not going to be like, okay, but then these signs are looking like
what they did to me. I'm not going to fall in love totally.
I'm not going to do that because you do not deserve it. You didn't hurt me. This person hurt me. If there is, I should go take it out on this person, and I have already done that. Not on you. So anybody that is coming in should be coming in to complete love. And until you can give that in your sincerity, then you truly have not, you're not ready, you've not moved on, you've not healed.
This session is so deep. Me that sitting here, I'm learning. Just ask yourself, with all of the things you have said, just ask yourself, have I moved on? Am I done? Can I give the next person that comes into my life complete love and all of those things? And that way you will know if you have truly moved on. It's been a wonderful and I don't even know the English to use to describe it. I'm very serious, but no, No, you guys should please say thank you in the comment section, because I'm sure you've learned. Even if you're not dealing with a breakup currently, you have learned something. So is there like a last word or something you just like to say before we end the video?
For last words, okay, I was thinking about this morning, and I feel it's just something I should put out there. And that's how you can be selfish, you can be wicked, you can be a bad person. Know it, know that I am selfish in this thing I am doing, and still continue doing it. You can be, because many of the people, let's take bad fathers for example. Many of the bad fathers didn't set out to be bad fathers. Many of people who is it divorce or divorce? I'm sorry, I'm not saying since okay, divorce. I've always struggled with that thing. So many people who end up divorcing, they didn't set out to divorce, right? At every point in time, we should always, think in retrospective, sit down and evaluate our choices, sit down and evaluate our actions from our lover's point of view, not from our own selfish perspective. What I did, how I did it, exactly what I portrayed. How would this person have viewed it if I was them? Like, how would this person have received it? And in all sincerity, that would teach us exactly when to say I am sorry, even without your lover asking for it. So let love lead. Yeah, unlike Pastor Shalami, I'm a preacher of love. let love lead. Let love lead.
All right, so you guys, we've come to the end of today's session, and whew, like I said, I'm sure you've learned something. You've learned a lot, not even something. So please leave a comment in the comment section. Subscribe if you've still not subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up and share with everybody you know. Share. And yes, I want to recommend one book. I mentioned it in my last video. This is the book, In Pursuit of the One, in case say you find the person.
As in, very essential.
Actually,
very essential. This
covers it all.
This book will teach you a lot of things. A lot of things. Let me even just give you one spoiler.
Don't give us spoiler. I should use spoiler. Follow Pastor. His name is Olulope Oludapo on Instagram.
Yes,
follow him. He has a lot of spoilers. He has screenshots.
I mean.
So check it out. All right. So we come to the end of the video. Bye, guys.
Bye.